Hey, POE Vermouth here. We are watching S3 versus POE. This time we're on the side of the bad guys, watching S3 Raskal. Look at them, like cheating already, stacking on top of each other like this. Unbelievable. So, saying get off me, homo. Alright, let's go. Okay, let's see who's in here. So we got S3 on S3. We got Deathball, Mavro, Zod, Death Havoc, Farm, Sepultura, Handyman, Smoke. I think maybe Rasta might be in there as well. On POE we got Varnish, Liquid, Psycho 13, Mudsloth, Baron, Charon, which is me. Bourbon, Alley, Black Astro, Daunt, and there might be like one more at the bottom there. I'm not sure who. But notice too, if we look at the pings here, see Charon with a low 32, lowest on the field here. No big deal. That excellent Ethernet connection I had at the time was out of control. Alright, let's kind of pick this thing back up and see if we can get started here. Also had a few casters for this one, so this was definitely a ladder match. So here's I think the here's the general story with this, to my recollection. S3 was, at least to my recollection, was always at or near the very top of the ladder, like top 1, top 2, at the highest top, or at the lowest rather, top 3. POE was kind of for a while in that sort of between 3 and 5 zone, just trying to kind of make it happen, but you know, we just kind of ran afoul of some of these guys like again and again and just like didn't quite have it there, which is so frustrating. The funny thing is, like for the top, like, you know, couple teams, like 5150, we didn't play too many times, but I think when we did, we matched up decently with them, right? Like they might win, but it wouldn't be like a complete blowout, you know, like we'd have a respectable showing. I.e., I think we played a couple times, and you know, even with them, like they would win and be a little bit more of a margin, but you know, still sort of respectable. I think we ended up actually playing the game kind of the same way is why. And even against some of the other teams we played, like Sticks, Doctors, Nuts, and that kind of thing. You know, it was like we'd probably win more often than not, but you know, it was rarely kind of blowouts. Like I think all teams sort of represented themselves pretty well. The one sort of anomaly here is S3, who, for whatever reason, we fucking struggled with them. They ended up like kicking our ass like again and again and again, which just like drove me fucking nuts, drove the entire team fucking nuts, which is really irritating. S3 probably fucking loved it. They thought it was like the best thing, like can't wait to scrimmage them again, just to feel like kicking somebody's ass. There we go. But yeah, I mean, part of me thinks that we just matched up really shitty with them. Yeah, Raskal going heavy O here. He, I believe, was one of their 2 cappers, him and Blue Nose. Taking down the base for sure. But, yeah, I mean, it's so too fast here. Is that about, yeah, that's about right. But yeah, I mean, it was just the most like frustrating thing to deal with them, and I think it was a couple things which I think will be kind of revealed in this demo, if memory serves here. Then again, it's been about 15 years, so you know, whatever. But I think the layout here, let's try to see what each team is doing here. I believe POE is probably going 5 and 5. That is probably 3 Heavy Oda base and maybe 4 Heavy Oda base or something like that. Maybe one of them to the tower, I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure we would have had a tower guy. And then probably either 4 or 5D, probably 4D, like 1 Heavy O, 2 Light D, and like a deployer / Heavy D. You know, but it will be interesting to kind of see this, because it's weird, and I feel like the same thing happened every fucking time as in this. Like, it's just in and out there, huh? One thing that kind of strikes me about Raskal... Jesus, what a spawn, right? Oh look, I spawned right on top of the flag I just dropped. Yeah, we'll see this happen. I saw this demo a couple days ago, and I thought I'd kind of talk through it today. But we'll see this happen a few times in this, that he's like unbelievably always in the right place at the right time. And you know, I'll give him like about half credit for skill and half credit for luck, but it's remarkable. We'll see how often he's just in like the right place. Let's just get rid of that. So yeah, you can see our guy kind of put a little damage on the tower there. But yeah, S3 actually had a stunning number of good players. Handyman, I thought, was an excellent light D. Farm, excellent light D. Blue Nose, very good capper. Their heavy O were good, but I feel like they didn't really get as much respect in a way that, or at least maybe as much recognition that I think S3 was really known as like sort of a light D oriented team that had other good players, if that makes any sense. Like, if you pick any one of their players, it's going to be a good player, right? But for some reason, I think it was maybe that sort of all ping, all chain, all the time kind of mantra that they abided by, which they ended up being known for. Oh, kills Pocharon. I don't like that at all. Hate to see it when the kind of bad guys are doing work here, but, you know, hey. So yeah, one thing that kind of strikes me about Raskal as well is he's very patient, huh? Like kind of waiting for the right time to go in. He, you know, waits for his, oh look at that, killing our capper there. You know, like waits for the heavies to go in first to clear. You know, constantly looking around to see what's happening. You know, has quite a bit of patience and stuff, which is great. You know, in addition to kind of having good sort of technical skills, that is, you know, being a good shot and having, you know, good roots and shit like that. Interesting thing too about the roots is that the roots. Oh, I mean, close, right? You'll notice he typically does. God damn, right? Like, I'll talk about that in a second. Interesting thing you'll see kind of about the roots, or at least I noticed, is that he tends to avoid, in a way, going down the middle. Which on this map, like, you know, not like a bad thing per se, but it's funny that, I mean, because nobody really stops anybody to duel midfield on this map. You know, it's just kind of like two ships passing in the night. Look at him being so fucking annoying here, right? You know, he tends to take these interesting little side routes, which are just as effective, but, you know, in a way it sort of lets him maybe throw a disc in the tower, or... As I say, he doesn't take the middle routes, he takes the middle route, right? I mean, the thing is, too, maybe just kind of varying it up, I think. That was kind of an interesting run. I'm not sure what's supposed to happen there. But yeah, one thing that we kind of see from Raskal and from S3 in general, and I think this is one reason why they ended up beating us more often than not, much to our great frustration, is they're unbelievable at covering each other. Like this, right? Oh, missing the flag, fuck. But, I mean, we see that, you know, Raskal covering himself before, when he spawned into the tower. We see him covering Blue Nose there after he brought it out. You know, instead of kind of, you know, pausing it all, it's like immediately flags out of the room, get on it. And we see that happen a few times here as the kind of flag comes out, that pretty much, not just him, but it feels like the whole team is kind of on it. You know, a little patience there, gets the flag, and out more or less clean. I mean, definitely kind of bruised up there, but... See, taking this little side route here to avoid people. Up and in, boom, cap. 2-0 S3 at this point. See, and here's another thing about Raskal, which I'm kind of noticing here, is, you know, being kind of a capper, and again with the covering, right, and the kind of going for the flag in the field. One thing about him that I think is unusual is that for most cappers, it's like they're super kind of, you know, route focused, they're focused on like, boom, what was that, 3 times in a row stopping our capper or else putting significant damage on him? Turning the flag in midair, no big deal. At the time, by the way, that was like a serious move, like not so common. But yeah, what I'm saying is like usually cappers would tend to sort of focus on what they were doing. It's like ignore the other team in favor of just like getting ready for the route because like I can't be bothered to stop and so on. Raskal, we frequently see in this, you know, pausing to turn around to kill our capper 3 times in a row, right? Like he's probably putting more damage on the capper than the light D. And you know, maybe like throwing a disc at a heavy O leaving, and variety. See, like covering his teammate there. Got, oh, I'm wrong. I thought that was a capper. But, you know, he does all these little side things, Yeah, there we go. See, right? Like turning around to cover the capper here. Heavy capper, no less. Boom, grabs the flag. Kills with like de-chasing. Boom, see? And like his help there ended up getting the cap. You know, very, very solid player. Very, very solid demo. You know, I mean, granted too, it's kind of easy to see this and be like, oh my god, he's the best ever. Covering the capper. But yeah, I mean, like really, like seriously covering, right? Like stopping whatever he's doing. Oh, bad timing there. But I think it was, you know, very, very sort of impressive performance. I mean, bear in mind too, this is a, you know, this is like a serious match. God, stop, like four stop cappers or 5 maybe. Throwing a disc in the front door here. Okay, let's slow things down. So we're gonna really slow down here. So it seems like S3 is really dominating us here. It's 3-0 right now, but it feels like it's really slipping out of control for POE here. Now, why is that? It could be that Raskal here is just like unstoppable. He's a complete beast. You know, could be that they're doing a good job of keeping down our tower or something. Could be that our O's dropping the ball. I love like the grenade launcher coming up to bear here. Let's look over what's going on at the left there. See that? See those two guys? Two green marks on top of the hill there? That's interesting. What's the story with that? That right there is what lost us the match here. Spoiler alert, guys. We end up losing this one. The good guys lose here. That's why we got our fucking ass kicked here. Because what is that, right? This is, I think, the first time this happened in, oh, weird, the grenade sort of came out of the guy's lower region. But this is one of the first times, I think, that this happened in competition, and definitely one of the first times for oh, look at the disc coming here. The first time this happened to us, I think, is that's, I believe, Zod and Deathball up there, and from that vantage point, they can shoot mortars that maybe, like, bounce once or twice, and end up on the ramp inside the base, and I think after a couple it blows up the stations, not to mention killing whoever spawns there, right? Now, I think it took a while, like what are we, about 8:30 left in the game? It took a while to get kind of the right timing for that to really kick in so that people are respawning as that's happening, and at the same time we're probably taking down their tower as well. But what does that do, right? It means that we can't have any bound flag. It means the light D is like losing it because like they can't really stand anywhere practically because they can also hit the front of the base here and the top of the base. And oh, it's so weird to see these come out. But yeah, we'll kind of speed back up here. So you get the picture, right? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so notice like all the lights in here, right? Everybody's fucking light, out clean, hardly anyone paying attention. The thing is, like those two guys up there, once they got the timing right for that, it was so amazingly hard to deal with. Because what are you doing, right? If you're naked spawning, you're able to get out of the base to go up there to deal with these guys. You know, by the time you're like jetting up to the top of this little hill here, you're really low on jets. So, I mean, yeah, you could probably put a little bit of damage on them, but taking them out, really fucking difficult. You know, because you're already like on the ground, they're probably in fucking shield pack and just chain you right down or mind disc you. Like, really hard to handle, especially if there's two of them. So yeah, looking on here. I mean, again, with the S3 covering capper in the field, picks up the flag in the field, caps it. I think, hasn't he done that every single time, I think? But yeah, I mean, that spam there that we saw those two guys doing, the two heavies there, that wrecked us. That wrecked us. And so, I mean, after that, you know, mostly downhill here. I mean, it was what, I think like 2-0, it got to be 2-0 after about 15 minutes of play, and then the last bit here, it just kind of falls apart a little bit, I feel. Yeah, I mean, our POE's base completely down. Yeah, and I mean, I think, yeah, again, with the spam there, right? I think who killed him last run was me. I heard a little local animation thing that, very high up here, huh? That I'm trying to be heavy on flag, right? But I can't get fucking suited up if the base is just consistently down. And so after I kill him, start repairing the station, by the time I'm done, I mean, they're already spamming the inside of the thing here. Yeah, I mean, to our credit, we don't completely fall apart here, despite that this is just so painful. You know, still making grabs and stuff, still kind of trying to pull it together, but already down 4-0 here. Very rough. He had the flag? I must have missed that one. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this kind of come from the tower here. But, I mean, interesting to see Raskal, right? I mean, bear in mind, this is a capper, stops our guy, or at least putting some damage on him, right? I'm see him hitting him here. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, too, to my recollection, there was a lot more like, look, we're getting it out of their base a little bit, like, we need to cover more, so there's definitely kind of effort toward that end, but, you know, not only was it a little bit too little, yeah, it's spam on the side there, right? Not only a little bit too little too late, but also just, you know, like, that's the kind of thing where all things being equal, then, like, okay, then we can kind of make this happen, but have a heavy cap. God, like, stopping the capper again, right? Like, I would say he must have stopped more cappers than the light D. He had to have. Yeah, very kind of ballsy move here on S3's part, right? Like, the flag is right near the base. Whew. The flag's right near their base, and they're kind of leaving it there for the timing on the return. Yeah, I don't know what Bourbon's doing. He's probably, like, screaming at us on, on TeamSpeak. Ay. What am I doing? I think at this point it's just like we gotta get the flag out and whatever. It's kind of chaotic here at this point. But yeah, I mean, needless to say, very, very frustrating match. For POE, that is. I'm sure for S3 it's like, yes, just as planned. Just as planned. Yeah, I mean, that Raskal, dude, I mean, it just, like, stopping cappers, covering his cappers, you know, making some nice grabs, being patient stuff. Excellent demo on his part. Excellent play, I gotta say. Boom, stops capper, makes the cap. And that's it. So 6-0 here. Oh, so disappointing here. Okay, look at that. Zod, 74. See that? What was he doing? I think the other heavy O probably dropped or something. It was likewise probably that high, but, like, unfucking believable, right? 74. Right, and that's strictly like that thing, the spam there, that's what won them the game. Raskal had an excellent game, I gotta say, too. I mean, like, all credit, I'm not taking anything away from him. He played great play overall. I'm sure he's a nice guy in real life and all that, but, because that matters. But yeah, man, like, that spam just wrecked us. And I recall, actually, I think after that, nearly every game that POE played, because it was so effective, I think we started incorporating that, like, wherever possible, just because it was such bullshit. They're like, all right, if that's how it's gonna be, that's how it's gonna be. Anywho, interesting game. Sorry to see the bad guys win here, but, you know, happens from time to time.